Hey, it's me again, Joseph, coming back at you for another episode of Art and the Garden, a series where I can share two things I have an enormous passion for: my art and my container garden. Let's grow. All right, so for today's episode, I decided to switch up mediums a little bit. I want to work with graphite, and so I'm working with some 2H, 2B, 6B, and a HB pencils, and working with a blending stump. And often I will use a some toilet tissue or tissue paper or something like that to blend large areas. I'm just going to kind of start with the negative space, blocking in just shading in the negative space, the space around my main image. And I will be working with this, and I'm doing this series is all about growing okra. And so I'm growing okra, I'm drawing okra, and having a wonderful time with both. So again, starting with some graphite, and so far, like I said, kind of just getting a general idea of what the overall composition is going to look like. And, you know, we'll see how it turns out. Okay. So I'm going to keep working on this a little bit while I share with you what this episode is all about. And it is growing okra. Now, this was the first time I've ever tried growing okra, and I wasn't a big fan of okra growing up. I do like it in some dishes. Gumbo is nice. And maybe some black-eyed peas and things like purple hull peas and things. I will add some okra to it. I love fried okra as well, but wasn't a big fan of it growing up. And so my wife is a big fan of okra, and there are people around me. So I love growing for her as well as, other people. And if they can use the okra, great. I'm excited about that. So this is all about starting from seeds to harvest. And I, just really had a wonderful time with it. So I tell you what, I'm going to continue to work on this just a little bit more. And, then we'll take a little stroll through the garden. Okay, so let's see. All right. All right, so when I started my container garden back in May of 2022, I started a lot of things just from seeds, putting them in soil. And I want to share real quickly some things that I used to get everything going. This wonderful potting mix, some really good all-purpose fertilizer. I wanted to use organic compost, which is really good. And then another thing that I use quite often is fish fertilizer, fish emulsion. All right. So those are things that I use to prepare the soil. And I started with seeds, and it started with this. And within a very short period of time, I would say within 4 weeks, I was looking at some growth happening. I decided to go ahead and start separating the okra plants, putting them in different containers, giving each one room for its roots to really start growing. And it didn't take a long period of time for it to really begin to take off. I was impressed at the beginning, just to see it growing. And within, I would say, 6 weeks, I had this growing extremely well. And then all of a sudden, bam, that beautiful flower hit. I wasn't expecting that. Again, had never grown okra before and didn't know what the flower would look like. But my God, what a beautiful flower. And right now, they're about, I would say, about 4 feet tall, and just beginning to produce. Again, I love to grow in succession, or plant in succession. So some things that I started with, and then I planted a month later or so some more seeds, and they are doing extremely well, extremely well. I have had the blessing of harvesting quite a few from these okra plants already, and they're still growing. At this point, the tallest one is roughly about 6 feet tall. My God. And the other ones are coming along really well, producing okra. And I'm excited about all of that. Yeah, I try to fertilize at least every 10 days or so, every 2 weeks to 10 days. And also, it's important to me that I give them plenty of water, making sure that I test the soil to see, if it needs water. And if it does, by all means. Here's one that I will probably harvest. Now, there's a rule. They say you don't let them get too big. And so there are a couple of okra that I will harvest pretty soon. But again, it's amazing how beautiful and how tall these things are growing. And so I'll go ahead and harvest a couple of these that I have. I have some friends and my mother-in-law and everyone who loves okra. I'm just collecting them, and we'll bag up some as we go along and give those out to those who really love them. So these are looking pretty good. This one's a little bit bigger than I would expect, but still, all in all, a wonderful plant to grow, an easy plant to grow, and I've had a wonderful time growing them. I think I'll try overwintering them during the cold winter season and see if I can still get some production from these even next year. So if you like what I'm doing, if you like what you see, you can always go to my website and purchase some of the merchandise. I have prints available of some of the works that have been done. And if you like it, go ahead and support it. And I'll catch you guys on the next time we come to the garden. Hey, keep growing.